As far as stories of mythical lands and magical paradises go, the story of the Garden of Eden is perhaps the earliest known to man. The search for this beautiful paradise has been underway for many centuries. But now, a profound discovery has been made at the very heart of Jerusalem. Where is the Garden of Eden today? Join us as we delve into the records of the holy books and the results of a shocking archaeological discovery, and provide answers to a question that has gone unanswered for many, many years. Depending on what accounts you draw your facts from, the story of the Garden of Eden is told differently. Most references come from holy books, including the Bible and the Quran, but many other religious books mention the existence of this garden. These accounts have a couple of things in common, including the fact that the Garden of Eden was a place that marked the origin of humans, and they also spoke of it being a sacred yet beautiful place. According to the Bible, the Garden of Eden was a perfect home God created for Adam and Eve. After He created the first man and woman, God placed them in the garden, which had been created specifically to meet their needs. The Bible describes the garden as a beautiful expanse of land, with several trees and fruits, glittering rivers, animals of every kind, and angels who stood guard at certain parts of the garden, including the entrance. Adam and Eve quickly adapted to life in the garden. The couple became one with nature, and God would visit them from time to time. They had access to everything in the garden, everything except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God warned them not to eat any fruit from this tree. However, the woman Eve was seduced by a serpent. According to the Bible, the cunning serpent deceived Eve and convinced her to eat the fruit anyway. She was successfully deceived, and not only did she eat from the taboo tree, but she also gave Adam some to eat. As a result of their disobedience, Adam and Eve were driven out of the garden, and God assigned angels to guard the gates of the Garden of Eden. By doing so, humans were prevented from entering the garden ever again. The Quranic account of this divine garden is a little different from what is described in the Bible. In Islam, the garden is seen as part of heaven where believers, prophets, and sincere martyrs reside as a reward of their good works on earth. Besides those who reside in it, the garden is said to contain large pearls and a host of angels. The Quran mentions only one tree in Eden, that is the tree of immortality and ownership of no decay, which Allah specifically forbade Adam and Eve from eating from. The human couple disobeyed anyway, and afterwards, the Quran claimed that Adam fell to earth, landing on Sarandib. There are some disparities in the two accounts we've considered. However, the significance of the garden is essentially the same. Both the Bible and the Quran portray the Garden of Eden to be an ideal residence, fit for only those who obey God completely. According to some religious experts, the Garden of Eden stands as a symbol of innocence, purity, and perfection, and it has been used metaphorically to describe several things throughout history. Some people see it as the origin of the curiosity of man and the beginning of our quest for knowledge and enlightenment. Others see it as the origin of our most natural state as humans. The garden also has other religious significances, such as being a representation of the plan of God for man before he fell. There are a bunch of other references, but we're not going to get into all of that. For thousands of years, the existence of the Garden of Eden has been a debated topic. Many scholars and archaeologists are interested in seeing with their eyes the place which represents the origin of humanity. As such, the search for Eden has gone on for many years, and some of the hints were taken out of the Bible. From the Bible, it is obvious that the Garden of Eden has a specific location, and it is not just an extraterrestrial place or a mythical location. Not only does the Bible explain the location of the garden, but it also mentions some natural landmarks and specific features through which Eden can be located. As seen in Genesis chapter 2, verse 8, the Bible explains that the garden was located in the east. It reads, "The Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden." Unfortunately, the exact country in which the garden was located was not mentioned. However, the Bible did say that 4 rivers passed through the garden. These rivers are the Pishon, Gihon, Tigris, and Euphrates. All 4 rivers are localized to the Middle East, but only 2 of them still exist today. These are the rivers Tigris and Euphrates. While Pishon and Gihon have dried up, Tigris and Euphrates pass through Turkey, Syria, and Iraq today. And this has made scholars wonder if the Garden of Eden is located anywhere in these areas. On normal grounds, this information would be enough to locate the garden, but our planet has gone through several changes, which have altered the course of these rivers. Some researchers attribute these changes to the flood that covered the earth during the time of Noah, as seen in a separate Bible story. Anyways, the alteration of these landmarks has made it impossible to locate the garden using the information about the 4 rivers. It is impossible that in the beginning these rivers did not pass through Iraq, Syria, Turkey, Kuwait, or any other Middle Eastern country that the rivers are associated with today. Think about it. If the garden were located in any of these countries, it would have been discovered by now, given the extent of archaeological efforts and searches that have happened in these areas. Although the Bible mentioned that Eden was created toward the east, researchers believed that this location could have changed as a result of the flood, or worse, that the garden may have been destroyed by a flood of that magnitude. If Eden somehow survived the destruction caused by the flood, its location may have been pushed southward. This would place it in contemporary Armenia or South Iraq. Otherwise, the flood could have swept the garden in the direction of the Earth's mantle. This could mean that Eden exists somewhere in the subduction zone on the northeast side of the Arabian Plate. Well, this speculation cannot be explored because the subduction zone is hidden under 3 miles of mud and sediment. If Eden is indeed located in the subduction zone, it may never be discovered, or it could take another century or more before the hidden paradise is found. While there hasn't been much factual evidence regarding the location of the Garden of Eden, there have been many speculations and theories. One of the more popular ones is that this paradise on Earth is located in Africa. It might sound out of pocket, but there are a few arguments which support this claim. For one, Africa is located in the east on a global map, not to mention that the continent is known for its sprawling vegetation and exotic wildlife. Given how natural and primitive most of the continent is, it makes sense that Africa is a considered location for the origin of man and the birthplace of humanity. After considering all the facts and the ancestry of men who existed several 100,000 years ago, scientists believe that Botswana, a country in South Africa, is a likely origin of mankind. However, there aren't a lot of facts to back up this claim, so that we won't dwell too much on this theory. It is undeniable that the city of Jerusalem is pivotal to not just Christianity but also Islam. Therefore, it is no wonder that some historians consider Jerusalem a potential location for the Garden of Eden. We already know that the Bible claims that the garden was located at the confluence of 4 rivers: Pishon, Gihon, Tigris, and Euphrates, and according to some geographic history, these rivers once passed through Jerusalem. Based on this, it is believed that the Garden of Eden may be located within or not too far from Jerusalem. Furthermore, the prophet Ezekiel described the garden as being in the mountains of God. Many historians interpret this as a reference to the many hills surrounding the city of Jerusalem, which is another reason why some people believe that the lost earthly paradise is located in this holy city. Apart from biblical accounts, there are a few archaeological findings which point to Jerusalem being the location of the Garden of Eden. In an old town called the City of David, archaeologists and excavators have found fossils, which date back thousands of years BC. The fossils point to the existence of a Neolithic community on the southeastern hill of Jerusalem. Given how old this city is and its significance in the Bible, some historians believe that the Garden of Eden could be somewhere in this ancient city. Another discovery concerning the garden was made by an archaeologist called Dr. Jody Magnus in the place known as Calvary or Golgotha. This place is remembered historically as the place where Jesus Christ was crucified. However, Dr. Magnus may have found a way to link this place to the origin of humanity, and it all began from a discovery in a Jerusalem church. In Morgan Freeman's documentary The Story of God, a discovery at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, located in the Old City, was the core of this discovery. Dr. Magnus stated that the church is believed to be the site where Jesus Christ was crucified and later resurrected. In addition to that, she also revealed how the church was the apparent burial place for Adam, and that Adam may have had a connection to the city of Jerusalem. If that was the case, there could have been even a slight chance that Adam died and was buried in the same place as his roots, that is, the Garden of Eden. Dr. Magnus's theory has been rejected by many on the grounds of both blasphemy and poor credibility. Regardless, it is still another one of several theories out there. The search for Eden has been going on far too long, and while some are counting on science and technology to make more factual discoveries, there is an option not many people seem to be considering. That is, what if the garden was kept hidden from men? Think about it. If there is a place on earth which is literally an extension of heaven, and only pure and perfect people are in there, doesn't it make sense that God would want to keep such a place inaccessible to everyone? It did say in the Bible that after God sent Adam and Eve out of the garden, he placed cherubim at the garden's entrance with a flaming sword to prevent them or other humans from ever going back and getting access to the benefits of the garden. If that's the case, chances are humanity will probably never find the garden, and if they do, nobody will be able to enter or explore its contents. So much has been said concerning the Garden of Eden. And since there hasn't been any factual evidence yet, maybe humans should come to terms with the fact that the location of the garden is a mystery that may never be solved. However, since that's highly unlikely, this mystery will be continually passed down for many, many generations. What are your thoughts on the location of the Garden of Eden? Do you think the search will lead to a dead end or more answers? Let us know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.